Hello! So I'm gonna try this level now, and like a lot of the other levels in this first set of levels, they've kind of got little compartmentalized bits. So, ooh, no, that wasn't the best way to do that. That's definitely not the best way to do that. Let's try that again. So yeah, they've got those little areas where you do everything, and then once you've finished everything in that area, you move on to the next area. And so there's not a lot of, or which area should I go to first? What would be better? What would be quicker? Yeah, that's a bad idea too. I don't know why I thought it might be a good idea. It's trying to do things quickly whilst not having practiced doing things quickly. It's usually not a very good way to do things. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be the quickest way to do that. But really what I want is a time. So if I set a time for this, then I've got something that I can try and beat. Possibly better going up and around this way, which gets that into the right place. Maybe backtracking a bit there, don't know. And this is another one of these areas where you've got a bunch of spirits and you want to... I don't know if running in there's a good idea or not, but I'm kind of playing it safe a bit at the moment as well. I've done a tiny bit of practicing of this, but not a whole lot. Yeah, we have another time capsule. Obviously we're trying to do this as fast as possible, so it might not matter when we get the time capsule. In certain levels it might, because there's a very tight time limit in certain levels. But here, not too bad. But there is a thing that I kind of want to look into after I've been through this level, because it's kind of interesting. Might not be helpful for this level, but still it's a thing that can be at least remembered, thought about. Ah! Come on. Wave about all over the place. Yeah, that's not the best way to do that. But there we go. So there, I've got a time for that level, so I can have a look at that. And what I wanted to show, actually go back to that level. This is not going to be the best level to show it off, but that's possibly part of the point here. In fact, I don't actually need to do things very correctly at all here, because all I want to do is get down to here and do... Oops, no, that's not what I want to do. Well, it kind of is what I want to do, but it's not exactly what I want to do. Here we go again. Now, if you remember from my playthrough of this, you'll know that there's a glitch you can do. If you go to the status screen, whilst you land on a skull, when you push the right button and go back to that, when you go back into the game, the skull has now vanished. And obviously that may be a glitch that could be used to help speed some things up. In some levels, it may not be useful at all. It might be useful. Who knows? One thing I was actually curious about right now. If I do this, if I look at the map, the skull's still there. If I go back into the game and die, now, oh, yeah, that's not going to help, is it? Let me try this again. Of course, dying to save time works a lot better when you've got more lives to work with. So let's just see, because I'm curious as to when this actually goes away, because here it's in place. We go back to the game. Obviously we die in the skull. Look at the map now. No, it's gone now. So yeah, I don't know exactly when it disappears, why the why that glitch happens or whatever, but it may or may not be useful to us. Obviously, at the moment, it just kind of gets us through to this area, which you think, aha, I can get through to the bomb. But yeah, that's not a very actual useful thing because you can't actually deactivate the bomb at all. You can't really have any percent of Repton 3 because you have to collect all the things anyway. It kind of has to be 100% in a way. Repton Infinity, though, you don't necessarily have to have an any percent or maximum score percent run. No, wouldn't be percent there. Anyway, what else I want to go into, because it is kind of related to what I've just been going over here. Now I'm going to have to try and do this. Yeah, I'm doing this completely wrong. Part of the thing about doing a speedrun is remembering which route you're supposed to be taking, practicing a lot, and yeah, not trying to do it whilst you're trying to provide some kind of commentary at the same time. So yeah, I am going to probably be practicing a little bit before I actually try to properly get into doing a speedrun of this, you know, because I think doing it level by level, there's it's not as necessarily as interesting a challenge as doing like a full set of screens, you know, like the prelude set of screens or whatever, you know. If you really want to, I got so stuck in there, forgot what I was supposed to do there. If you, I mean, you suppose you could do like the full game, but then you have to kind of figure in time it takes to load things up as well, and yeah. But I think a full scenario, as I think they're called in the PC versions, a full scenario is actually a good length of game to try and do, you know, set a time for. But that's just some musings whilst I actually complete this level so that I can get on to the interesting thing that I wish to show, which isn't going to be very useful for any kind of speedrun, but the way I came to this is like, okay, if I push the button now, you can see the time 7640, which I thought, aha, wouldn't it be really useful to be able to see what the time is when I land on the time bomb? So I tried that, like this. Also, when I landed on the time bomb here, it was 7625. Now, if you've watched the rest of this video, which would be weird if you hadn't, but if you've watched the rest of this video, you kind of get an idea of what might happen right now. Oh dear. It's completely vanished. Which does maybe answer something which I was asking about the skulls. When does it actually vanish? So when you go back into the game, when you've landed on a skull, it kills you and then makes the skull disappear, and then probably you know, takes your life counter down, puts you back to where you were, which is slightly odd that that's the way it would happen, but I don't understand why the glitch happens in the first place. So yeah, if you want it so that you can't complete the level, it still says diffuse time bomb. Time is still ticking down. Now impossible to complete this level. You know, if only there was kind of a glitch to walk through walls here. You know, you push enter and you walk through a wall, but obviously you can't do that because the walls are solid. You can't walk into a wall, unlike skulls which you can walk into. But yeah, if there was some kind of walk through walls glitch, then that might be very, very useful to doing speedruns. But as it stands, just out of curiosity, what happens now? Space to play? No, you still die. So yeah, death trigger happens first, and that bomb, yeah, that ball is just going to be floating there. Didn't expect anything different to that, really. But yeah, just messing around with it. Such a time for that one level, and I guess I'll see you next time.